so I'm risen. No, I rose with the actual sun, with no intent, no purpose. What's the purpose of that sun? Not to give you the light, the warmth, the heat, the energy. The suns just keep coming. The Earth's rotation around the suns is making this possible. Who's doing it? Got an idea? The wonderful creation of itself is its perfect geometry has made all this is possible for us to be a consequence here on this earth. With your silly ideas and how you woke up and which side of the bed you woke up and tripped on your own constructs, and those constructs may have somewhat faltered you or blamed somebody else for it. And with this sun shining, giving me this revival of another dawn of a day, which we made it up for our own convenience of the logic. That very logic should give us an opportunity to find solutions rather than get engrossed or entangled in web that we created for ourselves called life. So separate and so different to the very life that is happening right here, from the coconut tree rising up, from the very roots that are holding not more than 10 inches in depth. But it's giving the full strength and the vitality, the life-making materials running up that trunk through the core to the very top. Keep growing. The correct moisture, the right amount of nutrients, the temperature, the light. Every life is created in this way. To exist and to live to the fullest with the most wonderful, fully fledged life, to the flowers that are blossoming. Those flowers are a consequence of these little bushes of plants with the earth, the soil, the very soil that we walk upon, that we see ourselves as you and me and other, is not the importance. To remind yourself that only because of that soil that you walk upon, that you sprout out as yourself, which one day will go back to as soil. The body that you carry, that you're very proud of, been exercising and doing running and pulling machines and rowing and eating this food and that food and drinking and putting makeup and spraying perfumes and all those things, may you put you in a pedestal feeling that you are more significant than every other life that exists, that promotes and allows you to survive here. The very food that you put in your mouth, be it from plastic bag or from a processed food of a factory, they all come from this earth. Don't think it comes from an app that you hold on your smart device, that you have condemned yourself as an idiot or a backward individual, thinking that what is in the information of what you're holding on is the most significant and most up-to-date. No. And those who are the ones that feel terribly upset or angry about because it didn't happen your way. The nature and the existence doesn't happen the way the scriptures have written, or the book states. The biggest library on earth, it could be from Nalanda to Alexandria, or it could be your local bookstore or the neighborhood little bookshelf for charitable purposes. All of those are great for information. The information is not what runs your life. The very process of the life is once what keeps you going. And with this very fundamental foundation of who we are, the cockles are crawling. Cockles are crawling? No, they're not crawling. What do? I don't know. I'll leave it to you. loss of words. I'm becoming like the leaders of this planet. Anyhow, that is a different question for you to know and for you to answer for yourself. Regardless, looking out, the sun peeked out, the rooster is picking what is eating, what is healthy for them early in the morning. Human beings as we are, I'm deviating and shooting from the hip in my conversation, in my commentary here, but I'm not reading off a teleprompter. There isn't anything. There are no televisions or news media or academia in front of me holding up a poster asking me to read up. I don't know what to read. I'm an uneducated idiot. I have realized this at a very young age. When I did realize that, I didn't have to give up my stupidity. It'll just go away from me. And so I became gentle, content with what I've got, and who I became, absolutely nothing. Who I became with no education, no knowledge, no understanding of anything, but the only understanding I have is this body for me to experience the wonderfulness of this existence. And it is an infinite experience. Why limit yourself in this limitless possibility that we all have all around us? And it is the chance, the opportunity is entirely in your hands. The time is ticking away. Even at this moment in time as I speak, the life process is a dance between that, the time, and the limited amount of energy, which is your life, you call it. And for me, that slipping away of time is a blink of an eye when you really relate to the existence and its presence. We are a flash, like not even. So, if you've been given this opportunity with a limited time, how would you invest your energy? Where would you invest your energy? Where would you post your energy? Where would you carry your energy? How would you be wonderful, blissful, ecstatic, tears be rolling down with joy and wonder and excitement? And the marvelousness of human experience is that through not the five senses, but through the very living experience of it, energized not by food, by alcohol, or other backstreet prescription drugs and other things, but with the very existence as a human being. No other creature is capable of this experience because their life is very much structured from birth to death, but they do exactly what we do with the ease, a total ease, from birth, feed, produce, reproduce, and die. We do exactly the same with such unbearable pain and struggle and inconvenience to ourselves and everybody else, and situations we face, we may turn them into problems and chaotic situations that are not pleasant for you, nor for the neighbor, nor for the entire society. This, isn't it time that we now step aside, instead of going elsewhere, blaming somebody else? Isn't it time that we step one inwards, walk away when you're faced with a situation? If your hand is not in the intent, the mind is not in the intent, your thought is not in the intent to find a solution and be the solution, it is not you who's going to find the solution. It is time for you to be in silence, in meditation, and allow the people who are capable and able to walk forward with a gentleness that they are there to put the others at priority, to serve them in situations that we face. Not the media or the academia or the leaders that we elect will not find you a solution. They might confuse you with information that you would not know how to digest them, because they're not written down in a book or in a scripture or in a logical form that's given to you for your understanding of the logic. I could go on about for the entire day, weeks, months, with different words, in different ways, for different levels of understanding on the human society here, on a given city or a town or a country or a nation, or even in a family, or even in your own circumstances surrounding situations that you may face. Yet none of them can relate to the very experience that you may have in this brief time you've experienced on this earth. One of the most wonderful things that you could do is just to become the very life that can blossom, thrive without the fear of unknown. The unknown should give you the platform to seek. The unknown should give you the platform to open up to the possibilities, the endless possibilities there are, the situations that you may find. You could either become a victim from a situation or victorious. Victorious. Isn't it? The choice is yours, and would you not choose being a victorious rather than a victim of the making of your own? If you do not know how to handle, be in meditative mode, the problem will go away. The more you open your mouth, the eyes, the ears, the feelings, and the emotions, all of them will turn against you unless those work for you. It is time, and it is a wonderful time of the year. It's a wonderful time of the day. There is no time or a day or a week as to exactly how you should perform or not perform. And it is a time that you could continue to carry on with the urge, the need, and the very fundamentals of creation, as how the world spins, as how the moon spins, and how the planets spin, and how the entire geometry of this existence performs. None of them are colliding as we are, as human beings do, only because of our limited knowledge at different levels of life experience. That may be the cause of our friction. Would you rather have a car with a motor and an engine with less lubricant that performs with a crank, with a struggle, or would you love something that sails smoothly? And that should be your life. Everything that's up here is not what performs here. What is down here is what's performing up here to the elevated levels of energy. You can be in lethargy, you can be damping down your faculties of life and feel ignoring life or taking a half a stride rather than a full stride. Wouldn't it be nice if you'll be able to come up with a full stride rather than a half a stride going backwards? It's time that you come to awakened state, which is the most wonderful thing that as a human being can perform. Yet our performance are curtailed by our own making. Yet we see that curtailment of somebody else's problem or somebody else to be blamed for. No, it isn't. You can be part of the AI algorithms, or you could be part of outside of it. If you're in a meditative mode, if you become the sun, you will happen. If you become the human, you'll get into a breaking point thinking that you're a human. Condemning to be here as a human being is a failure, whilst every other creature is living a fully fledged life so profound that every other creature's life is so profound, it is impactful on us, for us to exist here. Your beef, your meat, your chicken that you order from the McDonald's, Burger King, or whatever you want to call it, your app with all the different flavors, they're all because of you found yourself human-centrically centered in your mind without ever, and your body, without ever paying attention to the very process of the life within you. And that very process of life is what made us become or able to, and to be able to exist here, because of the consequences around us from the air, not freshness of the air, the foulness of the air, the limited that we have been able to breathe, the foulness, the poisoning of the earth, the polluting of the oceans and the river systems that contain 72% of our body, as so as the earth's volume of water. Where are we at? What are we doing? It's not about protest or going against it. It is about being oneself and doing what is possible within your capacity of conduct by changing yourself instead of changing the other. The change doesn't happen by force. Change will only happen by compromising our existence on this planet. When you do that, when you compromise the very existence, that how we can exist here as an intelligent, evolved, cerebrally evolved creature, we compromise our life around us, being absolute denying of everything else is not part of us, and everyone else is not part of us. Every process of life is not part of us. This human-centric ideology, the ideas and the silliness is what will destroy the very survival, the very existence, and everything possible on this planet. It is time that we rise just like a wonderful creature and be that creature that only consumes of what is needed for the existence. Everything else is a frill, is a plus, because once this beating heart stops, all your ideas, all your grand endures, all your partnerships, relationships, connections, the money, the greed, the power, the acumen, the knowledge cease to exist. When that happens, where will you be? Back to the earth as soil. Your bones, your eyes, your hair, your skin, your lungs, your whole lot will be back to be as soil. At least the soil that you depleted through overindulgence. At least you may give life to something that is put down there as a seed, will sprout as a sapling or a plant. May that plant be the change for the future. Thank you to this very existence and the wonderful creation that we all have to share and live here temporarily. Good morning. Wonderful Chinese New Year.